Hey, so you might have noticed the distinct lack of a deliberate, fancy, funny intro to draw your attention every single breathing second, like a Mr. Beast video or like my other usual videos. Because you know what, I want to do something different once in a while. I want to sprinkle in some of these like more casual videos about language learning, because believe it or not, that's kind of the original intention of this channel. Like, remember when I just sat down in front of the camera and talked about how I'm learning languages and sort of how I've been doing, what I've been up to, what methods I've been using, and then just put it on the internet. I mean, it didn't get the views, but like, that's kind of honest communication between you and me, because nowadays, now that I'm sort of doing more of the bigger, more ambitious videos where I don't know, preach, or no, not really preach, but like tell stories about things that I'm passionate about, and also tell you about things that I think are important, sending important messages, things like that. You know, I enjoy doing those things, but also, you know, sometimes it just feels good to just, you know, wind down, just take it back to the simple things, without a script, really, without main point, I guess, but just talking to you about how I'm learning languages, which is the core of this channel. So I want to talk about the analytical way that I'm learning languages, and how you can do that too, because I realized that whenever I learn languages, I'm very deliberate about what I'm doing, what I need, and how my activities correspond to my needs. Because lots of people, when they try to learn a language, they just look for the best method, they just keep doing that, and that's good and all. But at different stages of learning a language, you need different things. Like from the very beginning, you need like the vocabulary, you need to understand the structure, and then afterwards you might need a wider range of vocabulary and to practice more output, and you know, maybe focus on certain topics and that kind of stuff, right? So your needs sort of changes, and I mean that also goes back to the video I make about classroom learning. Remember when I said basically think about what you need right now, and then how the format of that class can correspond to your needs. So yeah, this is what this video is about, like good old days, just what I've been up to and how that may be useful to you, and which I hope it is. So no fancy edits, no hooks, no plugs this time around. And yeah, I hope you enjoy this, and if you do, please do sound off in the comments so that I know, because honestly, now that my channel has kind of blown up English through that Welsh video, I'm not sure what this audience is interested in anymore. Like, it's not purely a channel about language learning anymore. So let me know what you want to see and whether this kind of stuff is still interesting to you as a viewer of this channel. I mean, it surely is interesting to me to make, because it's sort of documenting my own process and progress. So where do we start? I want to talk about French, because it's sort of the latest thing, at least the latest thing that is happening on my channel. I just did a stream. Yeah, I thought the streams are going to be the more relaxed kind of chat, but you know, this is sort of this is going to be shorter so that people can focus more. I just did a stream where I talked about my French, and people asked about it, because basically, if you missed it, why did you miss it? I made a video about learning Quebec French, which I was really happy about. I had a good process. I tried different things, and I focused more on the pronunciation because it's mainly a different accent. I'm really proud of that. So you should watch it after this one if you haven't already. So what happened was I learned some Quebec French, some basic like accent things, and then I went to Quebec to basically film my upcoming video alongside other things. So have I been learning French? Not really. I'm more in the using phase, because if you don't know, you might know from like my old like Polyglot Speaks 10 Languages video. But basically, I've been learning French since I was a kid, and then I got to like a survival level, like not even survival, like I can comfortably have a normal conversation, not anything sophisticated. I might get stuck on certain words, but like I'm happy to have a chat in French. So with the Quebec French project, it's more focused on the dialect thing, so the accent, some certain words. So when I went to Quebec, I had learnt it for a couple of days. I tried to learn some words, mainly through, you know, watching videos and also through talking to my Quebecois friend, Simon, who really enjoys using his mother tongue with me. So he just throws all the slang words and everything at me, and I have to like figure out what he means. So that was challenging, but that's sort of how I've learned a lot. And then when we meet, we chat a lot, sometimes in English, sometimes in French, and then I get used to more, to listening to it more and try to use it a little bit when I'm around him, because it gets awkward when I'm like alone with a stranger and trying to speak their accent but poorly. But when he's around, I sort of get to use it a little bit more. And also I hung up with other friends, other French speaking friends, while I was in Canada. So with my French, it's mainly in the output stage, because what I need right now is to make mistakes mainly, because I understand most things. Like I have actually learned stuff in French. So when you talk to me, I basically know what you're saying unless you have a strong accent, which I can get used to. But I haven't yet internalized the collocations or the exact ways of expressing a certain thing in French. So what I've needed to do was to reactivate it by talking to people for a few days and then making mistakes, so that I can get corrected and realize, oh, so that's how you say that in French. Don't use the English speaking way or anything. Or like when I was in Quebec, I got to see lots of things in real life that are in French. So that's really helpful, because I've never lived in a French-speaking environment before, and I don't even go to anywhere French-speaking very often. So seeing things written out on signs and things, it's like the Lithuania video I made, like a second one or something, where I talk about being surrounded by the language, like hearing it everywhere. That was really helpful towards just knowing which exact word people use for certain things, because quite often you have like 2-3 words for the same thing and you don't know which one is the most natural one, and you keep using the unnatural ones. So yeah, that's what my French is up to. I do want to like go back to French later on when I have time. Like French and German, like, see, some people think I'm a niche language polyglot. So I'm not. I love my French and German. I feel very connected to them. It's just that I have other things. I have bigger fish to fry at the time. But like eventually, I think later this year, maybe by the end of 2025, I do want to go back and really like properly work on my French and German. Perhaps through like Lingoda, if you want to sponsor me. I don't know, like I'd love to do that. Like I need something more structured. I need to really drill down the small details of how to talk about certain topics, which I don't get to do very often. Yeah, so I could use some language classes basically, and some proper study. Maybe like I could get a textbook, but that's sort of down the line. Speaking of the bigger fish that I'm frying, not literally, Welsh. So that is currently my main project, as you might have realized. So right now, I'm quite confident speaking in Welsh. That's sort of why I made the Why Welsh is Easy video, because I just feel really confident in Welsh. Like, I've been on podcasts. I could be on a TV show if I wanted to. No spoilers. And like, even though I don't really think I'm that good. Like, I'm nowhere as good in Welsh as I'm in like certain other languages. But like the nature of speaking Welsh, as I said in that video, like how everyone's sort of going in between Welsh and English anyway, and like nobody really cares if you don't use the perfect word. Those things make me really confident using Welsh. But my goal right now is beyond that, like beyond using Welsh in daily situations, which I already do. Mainly because I have a Welsh exam to take. I decided to go for it. Last year I wanted to do it, but I didn't do it. I would have done the intermediate one. This year I'm in the advanced class, and I asked my teacher if she thinks I should do it, and she says, yeah, Israel, you're probably fine. You should do it. Even though supposedly you take it after like advanced 2 or advanced 3, and I'm in advanced 1 right now. Despite that, she thinks I'll be fine, so I'm gonna give it a go. Plus, apparently it's free for students of the Welsh courses, so yay. So yeah, I'm gonna do it in June, and I think that's gonna require some actual studying, because when I'm writing an essay, for example, I can't really just write the same way I speak, like using English loan words, code switching, or like trying to talk around something, because like in speech, yeah, sure, if you can't find the word, just talk around it. Or like I could get a dictionary out secretly and look for the word, but in the exam, for one, no dictionaries obviously, and if you write around a topic, a word that you don't have, they're gonna find out. So I need to have the exact word, the precise words for things that I want to say. And also, like when I'm doing a reading exam, like if I don't know the word, I don't know the word. I have to guess. It sort of goes back to when I was doing English exams in school. I sort of had to use lots of different techniques to help myself navigate through language that was unfamiliar to me. So yeah, I think I'm going to rely on the textbooks mainly. The thing is, the textbooks are quite slow, and they cover a lot. They have different topics, which I do need to go through, but they don't cover everything. So I've been very keen on doing more reading. So I do have a small collection of Welsh books here. They're not like factual books. They're mainly like novels, but I want to have that comfortableness, the comfort, the ease in absorbing information from written materials, so that when I'm reading, I'm not thinking about the grammar at all. I'm not thinking about how the language works at all. I'm thinking about just the meaning, or the meaning behind the words. So that's kind of the goal I'm working towards, and I need to expose myself to a wider variety of vocabulary, whether it's like fantasy or technology. Like, oh my god, there's so many words that you don't get exposed to in daily life, because like, again, when you're talking to someone in Welsh, very often you just use the English word, but when you're writing in like textbook Welsh, you need the Welsh word, and you don't get that from listening and speaking. You don't even get it from like most television shows. Even if they talk about the thing, and if they interview someone, they're gonna have the use the English word. You need to look at books and also scripted shows, like not just like scripted dramas, because they want to make it sound natural. They use English words. You need to look at scripted factual programs to get those words. So that's why it's so hard. I think that might be the hardest thing with Welsh. So yeah, I need to be more deliberate about the kind of vocabulary I'm learning. Once I see the word, I don't think it's that difficult to retain it, because Welsh, as I said in the Welsh is Easy video, is quite logical in the construction of the words. But I might also just start a vocab book like I used to in school. I keep telling myself I want to do that in my foreign languages. I keep forgetting to do that, and I'm trying to start a habit. Speaking of starting a habit, I almost forgot to mention, since 2025, I have started a diary in Welsh. I do it within Obsidian. I found a guide that helps me set it up so that it's like very nice looking and you can click through it. The idea is that I can just open it like every night, write at least one sentence, and then just form the habit. That's my goal. I want the habit. So far, it's been 2 months. I haven't formed the habit yet. I still keep missing days. I missed most of my days during my trip to Canada. Not even like, oh, it's fine, I don't need to do it now. No, I literally forgot about it. So I need to build that habit. But also, like I've been writing a lot. Like whenever I remember to do it, I write like paragraphs. Even if it's just, oh, what I've been up to, what I've done today. I enjoy writing so much. And like, because it's my own diary, I can use whatever register of Welsh, whatever kind of language I want to use. So I like use some more textbook kind of Welsh that would be awkward if I spoke it to people. Like I use the proper conjugations of verbs, and it's really enjoyable. So yeah, I recommend doing it. I hope to do it more consistently. I'm still telling myself I'm gonna like go back and write the missing entries. I'm not sure I'm gonna do it, but I hope I will. So yeah, the last thing. Speaking of this, good transition. British Sign Language. So I'm still working through my class. So it's mainly a class-led thing. I haven't done as much outside of class. Lately we've been doing more skill-based things, because in the beginning of my current level 2 class, we focus more on learning new signs, new vocabulary, about different topics. And then in the past month or two, we've been doing more practice, like giving a 3 to 5 minute presentation and watching videos of like people signing and understanding, like doing past paper, basically doing past exams. The main reason being that our exams are nearing, like the final ones are in like June or something, and the first exam is in like I think April, which is, oh my god, just a month from now. That exam is the one I'm most concerned about. It's the receptive exam, which means, you know, like listening. You watch and then you answer questions. And I'm really stressed about it because for some reason I've been struggling a lot more with understanding signing than signing. Like even my friends are aware, like they keep telling me, they keep forgetting that I'm not that good at like two-way communication in sign language because I sign so well. Their words, not mine. So apparently I sign well. Like I sign comfortably, fluently. Partly because I have tricks. Like I do things like thinking ahead what I want to say, or coming up with sentence structure ahead of time while I'm understanding people. Things like that, or like talking around things, like I said earlier. Like if I don't know one way to say something, I find a way around it. So, but with receptive, as in understanding, I don't have a trick. Like if I don't understand something, I don't understand something. So that's why I've been more keen on doing more work outside of class, like even beyond the stuff that we're told to do by our teacher. So I need to get more exposure to signing. So I've been trying to look at like TV shows, but the thing is, TV shows, like when people talk in TV shows, it's sometimes more fragmented, or like the conditions are different. Like they're signing like while walking and so on, and it's not like one consistent thing they're presenting. What I do need, what's happening in the exam is there's one person talking to you for like, I don't know, 10 minutes, and that's what I need. So like I think I'm gonna as like I did in my last stream, I'm gonna go to YouTube or get more past paper practice. Literally do the papers and just practice, because Especially in sign, there's more stuff that you can't really predict. Like, there's lots of regional differences, and you can't just learn them all. So the only way is to just watch it, realize, oh my god, it's different, and then learn it from there. So that is my main focus for now, because I'm really worried about that. Like, for my presentation exam, I'm fine, I think, because there was one time we did presentations in class and we got individual feedback from our teacher, and when my teacher gave me feedback, he just said, no feedback, you're fine. So again, his words, not mine. So I think especially when I have prepared for a presentation, I'm fine. It's just the understanding that is difficult. Last part is what I'm dabbling, because because I am a language nerd and I still like to dabble. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I always say I don't want to learn new languages, but I can't help it. Once the opportunity arises, I just take it. So what opportunity are we talking about? Two things mainly. One thing is this. I think I showed this in my last stream. It's Armenian. If you don't know what Armenian is, go look it up. It's been on my wish list for a long time. Like, I think I first added it in 2015, 16 when I met an Armenian person in Sweden, and then learned about the language, and I thought, wow, it's a really cool script. So yeah, I added it to my list, but I had no reason to learn it. But now I made a really good friend in Manchester who speaks it natively, and then they are also really keen on me learning it. So I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? So I have, I'm not taking it seriously. I'm just learning like bits and bobs, phrases, words, silly things, the script. I've learned the script on my way to Canada, like on the plane. I can read it like reasonably okay, as in like I know each letter, not like I can read it fluently. It's really hard because if you look at the script, it just looks like you. But the point is, I've got someone helping me out, teaching me like how the casual language is spoken, and also like cheering me on. So that's kind of the whole idea. So that's dabbling part A. Dabbling part B is for the same reason. I met someone in Manchester that I see regularly. That's sort of my whole raison d'être. Oh no, I'm gonna do it in Quebecois. Raison d'être or something like that. For learning languages, really. Like I don't like to learn languages just because I like them. If I like a language, I put it in my wish list, like I did for Armenian many moons ago, a decade ago. But I start to learn them because I have like an impetus. And this second dabbling language is Uyghur, or Uyghur, as most people say. Again, if you don't know what that is, you might have heard about the people in the news. That's all I'm saying. Okay, so I've been interested in it for a very long time for non-linguistic reasons. But I didn't have a reason to learn it because I didn't know anyone. But now I do. And also now I have some experience with Turkish. Not that, oh my god, I said the two words that cannot be said in the same video, but I said them. But it's the truth. I have learned some Turkish. And not that I can speak it or anything, but I understand how it works. Currently, I'm less motivated to learn Turkish, but more motivated to learn Uyghur because of someone I know. Like, again, a person you know in real life always trumps like an abstract reason or someone I know online. So I can transfer my knowledge over to that language. So and do that. It's like when I learned some Russian and then transferred my knowledge to focus on Polish instead. I haven't really started on Uyghur quite yet, but I have found a textbook that I could look at. I do know that I know things about it. I know it's got it's probably got Arabic loanwords like Turkish does, but it also has lots of Mandarin loanwords, which I'm gonna know, which is fun. So again, with the languages I'm dabbling in, I don't know how far I'm gonna go, but I just want to have fun with it. Like, if I end up starting to practice with my friends, and then I end up like enjoying the process of learning and communicating in these languages, they might end up being like one of my main languages at some point in the future. I can't tell quite yet. I do need to learn the Arabic script to read and write Uyghur. Oh my god. But yeah, so that's sort of the language learning update. It's probably been longer than it... Oh my god, it's almost half an hour, but yeah. This is just me talking to a camera about my updates. I hope you enjoyed it. It's longer than it's supposed to be. But yeah, do let me know in the comments whether you would like to see this kind of stuff in the future. And give me a like for this. And yeah, see you in the next one.